Okay, so this is the reading log video for chapter 3. So I chose a book. It's called Hello Lighthouse. It's by Sophie Blackhall. Um, the genre is a picture book, and it could be a little bit of historical fiction because they do have the actual light from this lighthouse in a museum. So the lighthouse is a real place, and the story could be based around an event that happened around that time. So the story goes, there was a lighthouse on a very far edge of town, not town, the world, on a little rock. And the only contact that the people in the lighthouse had was this tender that came by every once in a while. And it didn't come by very often. But first there was a man, and he was all by himself, and he did all the lighthouse duties, writing in the logbook, changing the lamp, trimming the wick. And then soon, his wife came along on the tender. And they started doing all their duties together. She kept him company. He wasn't as lonely. And then after that, they eventually... I can find it. She got pregnant and they had a child. And then once the lighthouse got an automatic light, they got to go home to land, and the lighthouse was all on its own. So something I really like about this book is that it's very interactive. Like, this page folds out and the pictures take up the entire page. And they're so beautiful, and I think they really tell a story. And especially illustrations like, let me find it, like the ones with the circles. I think that they really capture how tiny and how isolated this lighthouse is. Especially this one where they walk in circles and circles and circles, and you just don't see anything from the outside world. I think that's a really good depiction of what the lighthouse is and represents. So I think this book, something I took away from it was that at the end, the lighthouse was really, really lonely. Because throughout the book, Blackhall depicts the lighthouse as saying hello to all the different things that pass by, like icebergs, ships, whales, and he always had the keeper there and his family to keep him company. But at the end of the book, the lighthouse says, hello, 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 like with a question mark, like, is anyone out there? And something that I think this compares to in real life is like a parent-child relationship. Like, the parent or the keeper of the lighthouse helps the child or the lighthouse along the way, tends to their needs, gives them what they need, and then once the lighthouse got its automatic light or is 18 and gets to go out on their own, the parent got to take a step back, got to leave and watch them do their thing. But sometimes a kid still needs their mom, dad, parent, whatever. And I think that's a really good depiction of what a lighthouse means to some people. So the activity I would do is it would be for about first to second graders. They would pick something or someone that is their lighthouse keeper. We would brainstorm together different characteristics of what a good lighthouse keeper was, and then we would write a poem to the lighthouse keeper. So different characteristics that a good lighthouse keeper could be was something caring, something that made them feel safe, something that comforted them. It could be a parent, a grandparent, a special toy, a blanket, food, basically anything that brought them comfort and company. And then we would go out and either read that to their lighthouse keeper, or if it was not a real person, they could still read it to them. That way they could thank it, because at that age they're still relying on things like that. And I think that's a really good way to kind of compare and get the story across of what the lighthouse is.